Most of these cars have the like original blocks, or if they don't, they have when you bought them.
Yeah.
Like you haven't removed the engines or anything.
This one here, I actually, a friend of mine who collected the 71 through older, I mean newer, he had this one as a 70. I like the 67 to 70 body style.
Right.
He liked, so we swapped. I had a 71 Javelin, I gave it to him, and he gave me that one.
Okay. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Hey guys, I'm in Flemington, New Jersey, which is across the river from Pennsylvania, and I'm with John and I'm with Ralph, who we met in a previous video with John's car, and we're now in Ralph's yard. This is his backyard. Not going to give you the address, but if you see something here, he's got a lot of projects. He may part with one or two. That's how John got his AMX. He parted with it. John saw it here. So if you see something, put in the comments you want to contact it, and I'll get Ralph contacts information, put you guys together like I normally do. I don't have nothing to do with that. When you all talk, you all do your thing. And other than that, if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe, and we're just gonna go on. So tell us about where we are, Ralph, and what's going on.
My shop. This is where I work out of.
Okay.
My daily everyday thing, but then I keep spacing here because I wanted to build. Years ago, I wanted to build the car that I had brand new. In 1969, I bought a Scrambler. So I started to buy parts, because you buy cars for parts. You just can't run out and get the parts for them. And I started collecting them to get back into it, not kind of unwillingly, but I wanted to get back into the car scene again and get my car again.
Okay.
So I started collecting AMCs, which is what I owned. And they're all here to build it, and lo and behold, I did find a model of my car, and I ended up buying that to kind of subsiding, and everything sat on the side, and I got into, didn't have to buy that many cars anymore. And a couple years later, I actually found my car.
Your original car?
My original car that I bought in 1969.
Wow.
And I'll show it to you later, but it's actually how we found out it was my car was the owner's manual was still with it, and the dealer writes in the owner's manual who bought the car and lists the serial number of the car.
Wow. And
when I opened the owner's manual up, well, actually the fellow that came down to show it to me sent me a text of it, and it was my mother's name. Because in 1969 you had to be 21 in New Jersey to buy a car, and I was only 18, so she had to buy the car for me.
Now, is this the car that you were just saying that the dealer was nearby here?
The dealer was right at the end. My test drive for this car was right down the street that I live on now.
That's awesome.
And I didn't do it once, I did it twice, because that was the thing that was really nice about the dealer was I took my first test ride. I said, I gotta show my buddy. We came back, and he actually took us for a second test ride around.
Nice.
And they were pushing these cars at the time, and it was a Scrambler, and I ended up buying it.
Wow.
For $3,000.
Now let me now here's the question I have. Did you pay more for the car the first time you bought it or the second time you bought it?
The second time. The second time was roughly 20 times the amount that I paid for it the first time.
There you go. So so if any of you guys are buying those new Demons or those new Hellcats, or a Super Snake right now or something, don't sell it. Just put it in the backyard. If not, you'll be buying it for the price of a house later.
Well, I actually had it in the backyard at my house, but then I got into working and I needed a truck more, so I just I kept saying, well, it's rusting away, and I actually had accumulated 2 more of them in 1980.
Oh wow.
And sold all 3 of them for the price I paid for one brand new.
Wow.
Which was $3,000. It was $29.98 for the car.
Yeah.
And sold them all in 1980, or about 81, 82. And then the car thing took off in the late 80s?
Yeah, early
90s or something like that. And that's when I turned around and said, well, I want to get back into it. And a fella that rebuilt my motor, which I always seen, he kept telling me about a friend that had a Rebel machine. I said, okay, he says, the guy contacted, he got sugar, he couldn't drive, he lost his license, but he still had his car. So he says, he would ask him if he wanted to sell it. And he said, sure. So I bought that car and actually got a second Rebel machine with it as a parts car to go with it.
Right.
And that started the whole thing. Meantime, I had found the third Rebel machine and was driving that already.
Yeah, that's kind of, you start hoarding. I mean,
well, it wasn't hoarding, it was just the way everything fell into place.
Yeah.
You know, it just happened.
Well, it's like I tell parents nowadays, if you want to keep your kids off drugs, get them into cars. They'll have no money for drugs because they'll just keep buying cars. And then you also have a little collection here of military vehicles that you, like you said, you use in your business.
That's an earth boring machine. I use that. There's one there. There's one over there.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces here. So we're not really going to go into those too much, but they're pretty cool, and that's why they're here.
Well, you can even go to the back because I have a fetish for power wagons, and there's a pile of them in the back.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll go and check those out too if you don't mind, Joe. So take us through a little bit. I see a couple. What is that, a Hornet?
Nope, the Gremlin.
Oh, it's the Gremlin. Now, I know the one best thing, my friend in high school had a Gremlin, and what we used to do on his Gremlin is the little tab in the back to clear the spray of the window. It actually hits something and sprays back. We took the tab off, so when people would be behind us beeping horns, he would just press the button and it would spray the car behind like a skunk.
The rear windshield washer?
Yeah, the little rear windshield washer. Oh, and the Pacers. Wow.
That's a Gremlin. There's a Pacer. That's an American. That yellow thing in the back further, that's an AMX.
All right, I got to ask first so I know what to look for. Am I looking for snakes, murder hornets, ticks? Like what do you got up here?
you can get the occasional tick.
Skunks?
They don't kill.
Okay, I found a family of skunks in South Carolina, so I always just want to know.
Foxes live around here someplace.
Okay, well they won't spray me with stink.
Either, no.
So if you guys want to know what an AMC man cave looks like, we're about to go back there.
No, this is the outdoor one.
Oh, okay, these are the cars that he doesn't feel should be indoors. Wow.
Don't try to keep away from rain.
And the red, white, and blue.
That's a Rebel machine.
Yeah, I love those things. And they were made from what, like a Matador?
1970 Rebel. It was the last year for that body style.
So it's actually not even a Matador or anything. It was a.
Came out in '71. They changed the name of the Rebel to Matador and started producing. They ended up changing the bodies around a lot.
And what engine did this have?
390.
The 390.
Largest horsepower production motor that AMC made for that year.
And they're about the size of a
mid-size car.
Yeah, they're basically a size like a Galaxy or 500 or something. Yeah. So they're not. When you look at a picture of them, they look a lot smaller in the picture. Yeah. Just because of the lines of it, but I mean, they're a decent. They're about the size of a Chevelle or something like that. And
yeah, I see. There's a nice one. I could have Luke come over. I don't know if he's home. He bought one from me. He hounded me for 2 years to get this car. It kind of like you came, but then didn't. But Luke saw me at the car show, and he had a '68 Rebel when he was a kid, and he saw my machine sitting there, and he just went for 2 years. He hounded me.
And they all came in the red, white, and blue, right? That was like
no. 1700 and I think it's 63 came in red, white, and blue, and then 600 were produced in solid colors.
Oh.
And you'll see solid colored ones in the back.
And then let me walk back here.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you can go that way.
Can I go?
I've seen Luke's at the car shows. It's one beautiful vehicle.
Now that's one that's been is it a Survivor, or is it just one that's been completely redone?
It's been redone, but it was redone in the 70s, I think, from an accident.
Oh, okay. So it's like a day 2 car then, pretty much.
Yeah, I'll give him a call, see if he's home.
Okay.
If he's home, he might come over.
And we've got an AMX there, and then
that's a 70 Javelin.
This is a Javelin, but that's the AMX, right?
That's the AMX. That has a Javelin hood on it at the moment, but that was a scary one, that one.
Now, is that another Rebel right there?
Nope, that's a Scrambler.
Oh, and is that a Scrambler back there?
That's a Scrambler clone that somebody made.
Oh, okay.
But this one right here is an actual Scrambler, and that one up there is an actual Scrambler.
Okay, the one with the white stripe on the roof?
Yes. which used to be blue but well faded.
Yeah, I know all you AMC guys, and actually even some of you who aren't AMC guys right now are going, oh my God, this is awesome. It is awesome.
So Ralph, this one looks
this one's got a roll cage in it.
Yeah, that one ain't bad.
check it out.
Wow. Nice Hurst shifter. All kinds of goodies to look at what the engine's doing. Nice speakers in the back, full cage. So this one somebody probably took to the track a couple times, I would think.
Looks that way.
He's not even answering his phone. I don't know where he's going. That's a 69.
So the same year as yours. 69, same year.
That's a 69. That's the same. It just has a Javelin hood on it.
And it's got a crane cam sitting in the back.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of parts laying there.
That's crazy. And this is like, looks like an 80s period or late 70s, 80s.
Racing this one.
That's what I'm saying. Like the inside looks like a racing, like something you would take on the track back in the 70s and 80s.
It has a roll bar.
Yeah, it's got a whole roll cage and tack and everything. Dual, oh wow, dual quads on there. Nice. Look at that. Is that an Offenhauser or a Wand? Or
I cannot tell, but it's the big one.
yeah, it's the high-rise dual quad.
A little bit of horsepower.
Yeah, and got the hood for it too, so
Yeah.
probably had like a 3 butterfly something on it on the top, but
Still got the original radiator, looks like. The old
yeah,
black
no
stone
power
radiator.
brakes on this one. Oh man,
Braking is less important when you have that much horsepower.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Go in a straight line and make sure that it's a
nobody
long
else
stretch.
is behind you.
That's
Or
right.
nobody in front of you.
That's right.
So wow. But I mean, I love that car. But you could definitely see the difference now, even in just, they're both almost exactly parked, like almost the same length in the back. So you can see the little bit of shorter that this one is.
Yeah,
You could definitely see the difference in size. Side window. Side windows are bigger on this, on the back side windows. So for the back seat,
Yeah.
right? So you can, here's when you're looking at an AMX and a Javelin, you can see the difference. Like when they're side by side like this.
Yeah, if you look here, you'll see this piece here is shorter than this piece, and that was to accommodate the hood.
Oh,
The hood
okay.
is 3 inches longer on this car than it is on this car.
Now, what year is this one?
1970.
Okay,
Last
so this-
year for, not for the Javelin, but for this body style.
Okay.
And they went to the Coke bottle, what we call a Coke bottle finish.
Okay. And then, so over here, and what's that one?
Those are Rambler Americans.
Okay.
Those are the cars I was trying to collect to build my Scrambler.
But then you found a Scrambler.
Then I found them.
What is that blue way over there?
The green thing,
Yeah.
that's another American.
Okay.
These are all Rambler Americans except for the last one down there. That's another 1970 Javelin.
The green one. I
Right.
think the dark green one right
Yeah.
there.
This is an actual Scrambler here. These are, I went to an auction and found this guy who was a great American Motors collector.
Right.
And I started buying all the fenders and stuff that he had piled up in hoods because I could get them for like $2 a piece.
Oh,
'Cause
got it.
nobody showed up at the auction.
Wow.
But I ended up buying a car at the auction, so I had to be very frugal
Right.
about my money because I only came with so much money. And I'll show you the car that I bought there. It was actually a 66 convertible,
Oh, wow.
Rambler American convertible.
And you even had, now these were these factory or aftermarket? Like, were they factory like the
No,
Mustangs
all
came?
factory, dude.
So
There is
so the
there
louvers,
is those louvers,
like these
I don't know
louvers.
what they fit.
Oh, okay. So they just happen to be there.
No, I picked them up at a yard sale type of thing, thinking I could modify them to fit the loop. But they
Oh.
did make louvers for these cars.
Yeah, because I've seen pictures in books with them, but
Yeah, but trying to find them is like trying to find a needle in a
that's what I
haystack.
said. I saw them. It's like you see them for like the 70 or 69 Mustangs had them from the factory, and
Right.
I was so Louvre. You could get
You
louvers as
could
a
get louvers on these cars.
okay. They're just
I don't know if it was a factory option or an aftermarket option, but
Okay.
somebody did make louvers for me.
Yeah.
You could still see them on some of the cars.
Ralph,
And it's
let's
rare.
do a twofer. This one and that one.
For what?
Purchase. Fix them up.
Oh
500
yeah,
bucks
no,
for
this
both.
one here I want to drive, but you ain't driving this one on the street. See this dent in the hood?
right.
Want to know what that is? That's me taking it for a test drive. And what happened was,
Oh, I see the corners.
I forgot to
rod.
put the hood pin in.
Ah.
And when I hit second gear, that hood flew up and hit, that matches this right here. That's where it hit and flopped open. And the fella that was with me, it was like, we were right here on the street, and when I hit second gear, the hood popped open. Thank God it had the hole in the middle, because then I could just lean over and drive.
In '82, we did the same thing. A friend of mine, the day he got his Camaro, 69 Camaro back in, no, 80, I'm saying 89, 84, he got his Camaro back at 69
Right.
for all red with the brand new vinyl top, and we took it out and he forgot to put the hood pins in, and 20 seconds later it flew up, did the same thing.
I was trying to learn. It's got an automatic in it, but it's got an automatic with a shift kit, so
Right.
you manually shift it. And I was trying to learn the gears, and I hit second gear, and that thing went.
Did it shatter the windshield too, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Didn't break anything on the hard, just bent the hood.
Wow.
Like this is straightened out.
Right.
Because I bent it right over.
So how long has these have all been sitting? I mean, obviously for a while.
Well, some of them have been here 10 years. Back in there, those have been here 10 years, 15 years.
Wow. Well, at least these aren't in direct sunlight.
Well, that was my whole object, was to keep the rain off of it as much as I could. So this was parts of my building that I had left over, and I just made lean-tos for them.
Oh, and when is this unlocked? I don't know if it's.
Oh yeah.
Unlocked. I love, look, the purple. This stuff is definitely 70s purple.
Well, we kind of nicknamed this Freddie Garcia. That's fish scales, but
Yeah.
if you notice, they're on backwards.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they should be pointing that way. Okay, well, somebody had a spray
So
can.
it kind of got a nickname.
I mean, wow, look at the interior. Like the interior of this. I mean, looks. I mean, when was the last time you've even opened these things?
Oh, well, they get opened at least once a year, whether they
Wow.
need it or not.
A safe command braking system. Love the stick shift on there, on the top. Look at this. I mean, the door panels, everything in here, other than the seat, but the seat that was probably taped up in the 80s.
Time capsule.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, crazy.
Well, here, they put a Band-Aid on it, see?
Yeah. Ralph, tell Sean and his viewers about how these hoods operate, how the hood scoop operates.
Well,
this
you
is my
get
favorite.
Most of them, I don't know if this is a functional one or not. You could get the hood scoop. It was part of the whole package that came
Right.
that way. But it came as a non-functional hood scoop or a functional.
Okay, kind of like the cow inductions on the Chevelle.
Yeah, and on the inside, come on, baby. This is a non-functional.
Okay.
There would be plastic all around here, and a flapper valve, and a seal that would seal down on the top of the air
Okay.
cleaner, and then that was a functional one.
Like a ram air.
That's a very rare one to try and find too.
Now, for like, I don't know much about the. And so, are these considered? I don't want to bend.
That's all right.
Are these a big block, or are they like Pontiac doesn't have big blocks?
There was only one block.
That's so it's like
and-
Pontiac, where they
And it's actually a small block.
right, like the Pontiacs are, and then they bore them out differently.
Right. That's how these are done too.
Okay.
But I don't know. You know.
So we're gonna go and look. We saw the first, say barn collection, whatever you want to call that. We're gonna go and follow Ralph to the next section.
10% of the way
This is the
through
more
the tour.
elaborate section. These are the ones that need some major work. Like these are javelins here. There's another pacer on the end, and then another javelin. I don't know. You went in there, but you got more over here.
Right.
That's a scrambler.
Mad Max has got nothing on it.
This is a 68. This is a 68. Now that is a Rebel machine hood. You can see the intake to it.
Yeah.
The flapper valve and all of that.
And it would normally have the
hood
big
scoop.
the hood scoop over top that
The
everybody.
hood scoops have been taken off, so that my Luke, if I could get in touch with him, he's been redoing them, and they come out
okay.
looking brand new.
And then this is a
This is
Javelin hood
another-
without
this is a
the.
60. This is a 70 Javelin.
Okay.
You can tell by the front end, it has a wishbone set up with like conventional card instead of the trunnions.
Okay.
That's a pacer. That's a 4-door American. That's Grandma's grocery getter over there. You take all the kids out.
Right. Is this the pacer or the? Oh yeah, not the
This is
pacer
the
wagon, right? Just a regular pacer like
This is
that
regular,
one.
That right. This
Okay.
is regular. That's another 70 Javelin back there.
Wow.
The white car is a Rogue American that came from Florida. Came from your state.
Oh.
I used to get them from all over.
Yeah, a lot of people think that actually this has this hasn't rusted underneath, so it has the half roof, the Landau roof on it. But luckily it hasn't. Doesn't look like it got the rust underneath, because a lot of times when they leave these on, they get the water gets under and it rusted through. So
well, they might have cut that out because it ends here on this, but the other vinyls wrap around, and I can show you back in here where they show the bubbles and stuff.
Ralph, I wouldn't mind having that radio out of that.
Out of this?
There's a guy that guts them, puts in Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's the Amc Javelin radio. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even know it was in there. Now you're coming around to the next step up generation.
Okay.
Here.
So those were we're basically, that was the D collection. This is the C collection.
There he is. Hey, are you here?
Wow.
There's a guy here shooting a video of barn finds. I want your car in it.
Wow, an American station wagon.
Florida. Yep. What's your site?
Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean.
Junkyards and Barn
It's on
Finds
YouTube.
site. It's on YouTube. See, that'll teach you to go away.
So here's the Rebel hood scoops he's talking about. Inside station. Here's a machine. So that's the name of them, the machine. Machine.
Shooting everything in the backyard here.
And the machine.
Alright.
So this is the solid color one.
Alright. He's actually in Little Beach.
Oh.
And he's coming back tomorrow.
Well, I'm leaving for Michigan now. Plan changed. I was heading south. Now my girlfriend's flying in tomorrow night to Allentown. Then we're going to Michigan and then down through Michigan, Tennessee, and then hitting a Mopar junkyard in Alabama, North Alabama.
So you're gonna tape that whole time?
Oh yeah, I've done 87 shows since last Thursday.
Wow.
87 videos. So
that is a 69 AMX. That's a big bad orange car. They had 5 different color combinations. I think multiple also did the same thing.
So
orange, green, blue, and what was the other 4th one? Was it a yellow? No, maybe it was only the 3.
It was just the 3.
Yeah, maybe it's only the 3. But this is a big bad orange 69 AMX, and over there is a big bad orange 69 Javelin.
So this is that color.
Yes. If
So,
it were polished,
right?
Other than looking like dull, whatever.
So,
But
and
this
then
is supposed to be, and it was in the trim package to tell you what the colors were.
oh, okay. Now that is
a
the Rebel.
machine.
That's they're both Rebel machines, right?
Oh yes.
But this is the
Rebel
solid
machine.
color one that you were talking about.
This is the red, white, and blue. This is another solid colored one here.
Oh, okay.
And this is where you were looking at your bumps in the vinyl.
Right.
That's
For
because
the
it wrapped around the window.
right.
This is a golden lime machine with a vinyl roof.
Okay. And was green like one of the? It seems
That's
like green's a
Moss
kind of
Sport
popular.
green.
Huh?
That one's called Moorsport green.
Okay. Was that like that seems like it'd be a popular color then, because you have.
There was a lot of them that were popular. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, we can make this easier.
And I love the
This is
station
gonna- This is
wagon.
going to be my next little project. I want to do this.
So, does this have the little seats that face the back in it, or you?
No, I don't believe
Oh,
so.
okay.
I used to ride around in those when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
The Ford Country Squires.
That's what I had to learn how to drive in one.
Yeah. So they were great when they faced the back, but I had brothers and sisters, so when you went to the newer, like the 1981 where they faced each other, it just caused fights.
Yeah, the fumes coming in that back window.
Crazy. But it kept you quiet because you passed out and your parents didn't hear you arguing anymore.
And then they open the window to bring you back.
So with the Rebels, they all came with it was a 390
They all came with the 390, the biggest engine. They all came with the hood scoop and the air package. I think the first run was the 1700 of the, you could only get 8, and then later on they decided they would produce them in a solid color, and you could order. This one happens to have factory air in it,
Oh, wow.
which is a rare option.
And this one's even like got the little Krager SS. I mean, this thing here looks 70s.
Oh yeah.
This is a, how long have you had some of these? Same.
This one I've had for 10 years. This was one of the, that was the parts car
Oh.
to come with the first one that this guy bought.
So like this is like 20, over 20
yeah.
years.
Yeah. That
So,
I've had it here.
wow. And then, so.
And then in fact, its mating car that it came with is underneath the thing up there where the Dodge pickup is.
Oh, okay.
My other half decided to try and, she wanted to do a car, so she stripped it down, and then when she couldn't get the dashboard out, she left and went and got a Javelin.
Oh.
This is
Now,
another scrap.
these two.
This is 1 year, last year American final production, 1,512 made. This is 1970s, last year final production for the Rebel. I think it was 2,300 and some number of these were made.
And this looks, I mean, I could be wrong. Obviously, they might have been accidents.
Yeah,
This
this
looks
is
like
mid-size.
original paint on these, it looks
Yeah.
like.
This one actually, I believe, is.
And I would, it's like, it's not, there's
can't-
no way you would even want to repaint these because the original paint, the way it looks right now, like nowadays, nobody wants to see it reconditioned. They want to see it as is original Survivor, and these are Survivors.
I actually like to see them repainted.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, Survivor.
Yeah.
But I love those machines. Those hood scoops are.
It's
just so-
everybody's
Yeah.
face, you know?
Yeah.
That's
So,
that's a 69 Javelin over there.
and is that another?
That's a Rebel SST. That was the base model that the machine was built off of.
Okay, so you could get the SST, then if you want the next step up,
Well, if
that's
you wanted
the Rebel.
if
Like
you
the
wanted
Rebel is the
machine
Rebel.
option,
Right.
That
It-
was this, but that's the standard Rebel over there.
Okay. So the machine was their top of the line
Yes.
power car or whatever, muscle car then.
Yeah.
Now, which would be, is the machine the top of the line above the AMX? So, or are they just different lines like
They're just different.
like a
lines.
Barracuda
For
and a,
1969, the weird one that they wanted to make was the Scrambler.
okay.
And they did make it, and that's the red, white, and blue one back there. the
Okay.
small one. And then it took off so well for 1970, they decided to do something again, and that was the machine.
Okay.
But this is a Rebel SST here.
Now, is this a factory part?
Yes, it is. This is called the mod package.
Okay.
The only thing not factory on it is somebody cut a sunroof into it. But
But the,
front little scoops,
Okay.
this scoop, and the back scoop, back fin back here, they are factory.
so is this like their answer to the
It was just
the
a mod- it was
the,
just
the
a
ones
mod-
that they were using for probably road race type things like Grand Am racing or
No, I don't
Or-
know if these made it into the NASCAR. Not NASCAR.
Well, not-
what was the road racing? Grand Am?
yeah,
Trans Am.
Trans Am,
Trans Am.
yeah, the
I
Trans
don't
Am,
know if these made it in because if you look at a Trans Am car, you don't see the roof spoilers on them. You see this spoiler,
right?
Mark Donohue's spoiler, but you don't see the roof one.
And they're all. It seems like most of them are stick.
Yeah, most of these are all 4-speed.
So Ralph, is this is a Group 19 option? This one here.
Yeah.
So Group 19 were the performance, parts
Right.
and upgrades you could get at the dealership. There's a whole
So-
catalog full of that stuff, and this is one of those.
So whoever ordered this one,
This came as it was actually an option
Oh,
package.
yeah.
And
okay,
it came with this and the 2 scoops up front and this.
that's what I'm saying. So this is kind of like, I mean, whether it was raced or not, I don't know. I'm just saying
Yeah,
this
no.
is like the Stage 4 Pontiac Trans Am, like this was, or
The Screaming Eagle.
yeah, whatever, or the race, the Cudas that came with the the ones that they like people bought that had like all the racing doodads
bells
on
and
it,
whistles.
yeah, all the body parts and everything. So this would be like a full, like this. Whoever ordered this car was like, whether I race or not, I
It was
want to
one of the
look like it.
options.
Yeah.
It probably came with the 4-speed.
Is it? It seems like a rare. I've never seen that. Is that a rare option to have? I
Yeah,
don't.
you don't see too many with this hood scoop on the roof.
Yeah.
Hood scoop on the roof. Yeah, no, scoop on the
If
roof.
you're gonna have 2 hood scoops, you gotta have 2 spoilers. That's just
Yeah.
a rule.
Well, that one in
Yeah.
the middle, somebody cut that in.
This isn't factory,
No.
but these were.
Those 2 are, yeah.
Okay. And then that's a, what is that one? A 3?
That's a 1970 Javelin. Again, the same as the one over there.
And that has the
That
same hood
scoop
scoop.
happens to be an extra scrambler scoop that's sitting there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the hood on that Javelin is the same as the
Right.
one, so
And that actually, that one has the trim piece in the front. See the little chrome pieces where the other one didn't have it?
yeah, the other one had it had screws there. I noticed there was like some screws in there, so this actually has
So
the
that
trim
has the
piece,
actual trim piece that sits in it.
and that has the block still in it and everything. So,
Yeah.
well, most of these cars have the like original blocks, or if they don't, they have when you bought them.
Yeah.
Like you haven't removed the
They have
engines or
everything.
anything.
This one here, I actually, a friend of mine who collected the 71 through older, I mean newer, he had this one as a 70. I like the 67 to 70 body style.
Right.
He liked, so we swapped. I had a 71 Javelin, I gave it to him, and he gave me that one.
Okay. Oh, this is just crazy. This is, I mean, this is blowing my mind that these are, I've seen more now in one place than I have in 130 videos of going through junkyards from Florida to anywhere in the South, even up to here. So now I know where they all are. So when somebody says, how come you never show Javelins? I'm like, well, they're all in Jersey. So.
No, not really. But there's more.
Yeah, these are all AMXs in the back. Except for 2 Chevys right here on the end and an old Dodge pickup. The weeds are kind of overtaken.
Right.
But that's a 70 AMX, this is a 69 AMX. That's a complete car. The motor and everything is still in.
Oh, wow. It's got the same
those are
stripes
shells
as yours
in the back.
does, right? Oh, they're just empty shells back there that
Yeah,
you just
they're
use for
empty
parts
shells.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And
There's rears in them and front ends in them, and that's it.
390.
This is the whole 69.
Right.
That's a 70. That doesn't have the motor in it.
I love the lime green.
Yeah. That's not that wasn't a factory color.
So wasn't there the California Dealers Association did the SS AMXs in that lime green?
No, I don't know. They could have.
I
I don't
think
know
that
about that.
there's a series of, I think,
But the
100
SS AMXs was a dealership factory produced race car.
Okay.
52 of them, I believe, were produced, and they went to certain dealers that raced. And the guy that I bought my car from had one. He was an SS, and that car today is in Sweden.
Oh, wow.
It got his son ran it for a while. It went to another outfit up here, Trans Am, where his son worked with it and ran it there for a while. And then something happened, and it ended up getting sold and went to Sweden.
So it's kind of like how Yanko Camaro type thing,
Yeah.
where they were dealer
But
race cars.
that was a dealer.
That was one
Jenkos
dealer.
were done by dealers.
Right.
The Jenko dealer.
Right.
The SS AMXs were done by the factory.
So they were factory sent to dealers.
Right.
Okay.
No, they were stripped down. I don't know.
So like the Copo Camaros, which were just stripped down cars made because they
No
knew somebody
wipers,
wanted to
no
race
nothing
one.
in them. They were just as light as they could make them.
What I was thinking of is the California 500 Special, which, if I'm not mistaken, some dealers in California got together, and they, made these beautiful lime green.
Like that color.
Exactly.
I just thought that used to be the state of Pennsylvania's work trucks, and I think they stole the paint from it.
Probably right.
Same color as the guys that wear the pants holding the stop and slow signs.
Yeah.
So.
Ralph, is it too late to pull these suckers out of there? And
No.
So.
Are you kidding me? There's a crane. I can lift them out.
all right.
So if anybody right now sees some of these cars or says, hey, you know what, I'd like to buy that from
Send them over.
to talk to you.
Yep.
And so if you've seen something so far that you are interested in, it's one of those not for sale but always for sale for the right price type thing. So
No, most of it. I'm 70 years old. How long can I do these projects?
depends how
That's
many
why I
how
was-
many
I'm
grandkids do you have
picking
that
the
want
wagon.
them?
No grandkids.
Oh,
no nothing.
yeah, then you're going to be
That's
you're
why
going to
I'm
get
picking the wagon out. That's going to be one. The other one is up in
Okay.
the garage. We'll get to that one a little later.
Wow. So yeah, so for those of you guys who want to save these cars, and listen, if you look at the video that I just put up last Monday from that place right across from Trenton where they just crushed those Chargers, those 15 Chevelles, the couple 70 Chargers, and those first gen Monte Carlos, and they're crushing, you guys saw it, there was a whole pile of 60s cars and 70s cars, and they crushed them that day. So we got to get the young people inside. So if you got a young son that you want to teach, that you want to work on, if you're somebody who is a teacher at an auto body school, like one of these tech schools or something, get the tech school to buy some of these. Have the school make them.
Polytech over there is a guy that has an AMX.
At Middle Bucks?
He has an AM, the one right down the street. He has an AMX there because he's been here for parts already.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
So,
it's still there. I think it still is.
or if you're just an old guy like me that's 55 and has nothing else to do, although I travel the country, but if you don't have something to do and you got some garage space and you want to upset your wife, then buy 2 of these. Put one
Here's
out.
the Power Wagon section.
Tell them they're for her, and you want to make it for your 50th wedding anniversary. And because 50th wedding anniversary, as we all know, is Javelin or AMX.
Oh, yeah, the
You know,
Scrambler.
49th is Diamond, I think 48th is Flowers, but 50th is definitely old muscle car.
Old iron.
Yeah. So you got, what is it, old Dodge Power Wagon there?
An old Dodge Power Wagon. This is another one here.
So these are, what are they, like a 48?
46.
46. So,
46. Those are 46s, but they're the civilian models and not the Power Wagon.
oh, okay.
Here's another AMX behind this.
Can't swing a dead cat without hitting an AMX or Javelin. So these are the ones that have been grounded that you just did something that you didn't like, cut your hand, and you parked them out here.
Mine took the clutch pedal assembly out of this one. This one has a 71 hood laying on it upside down for some reason, but it's not really, we're trying to protect the motor, but with the holes the way it is, it ain't really protecting much of anything.
But if you're looking for hubcaps too, I mean, it's got,
There's 5 or 6 sets of them.
and it,
There's a rare car right there, truck right there.
which that this one,
Yep, only 36 of them ever made.
it's a Jeep. That's a big Jeep. Is that a Jeep
Not a
front end?
Jeep. It was a prototype. It was a prototype car made for when the military dropped the Dodge Power Wagon.
Right.
They wanted a replacement for it. Jeep, eventually the 715 Jeep won the bid, but this is an XM 705. Chevrolet made this to compete for that bid.
An XM 705. So this is what, like early 50s?
1971.
Oh, 1971. Okay.
And there's only 36 of these in existence.
Wow. Now these are just bought, drove, parked, or just parked.
I was gonna do a work truck out of this one because this was another prototype. The Army decided they want to get faster than 55 miles an hour, which was their top speed with the Dodges and all of that. So they turned this deuce and a half over to somebody, I don't know who, but they put a Cat in it, a V8 Cat V8 engine, and a Allison automatic. Its top speed is 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
So
yeah, you got some of these. Are these also, if somebody's interested? Or yeah, okay.
all of them, everything.
So pretty much everything, unless he says no, like the station wagon.
Now the station wagon is one I want to keep.
Yeah.
The convertible will be one I want to keep. Now that's an AMC Jeep back there when AMC was producing the Jeep. And it's an actual, I think it's a 75, which was
before Chrysler bought them.
Before Chrysler bought them.
Oh, okay. Dennis Collins, you do all the Jeep shows. There you go. This is in Pennsylvania. To ship it to your place.
We're in New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry. New Jersey. We're in Jersey. But ship it to Texas, give him a call.
There you go.
So Dennis has a great channel on, he does Jeeps and stuff like that. So,
oh, does he?
Yeah, he's got a big Jeep place down in Texas. So, and then this is obviously the bed to one of the 6x.
Bed to one of the ones I buy the truck with the bed on it, take the bed off and put my bed on it, the digging unit.
Right. So what's under this shelter? What is that?
Now this one here has the mate to the one Rebel machine. This one's been tore apart. That's a Rebel machine right there. Started in the progress.
Okay.
This is a 1946 Dodge pickup, which was my grandfather's.
Wow.
And this is a 42 Oldsmobile.
With flames.
With flames.
And a tilt front end?
No.
Or just the front end?
I had to change the motor in it.
Okay. So, and how long have you had this one?
This one here,
I mean,
probably close to 10 years too.
Okay. Does it got wheel tubs in
I
it?
haven't bought any in a long time.
Does that got wheel tubs in it?
Yeah, what it is, and they did a very nice job on it, was they extended the fenders out with a piece welded in right here. So you could actually
So it's metal, it's not
it's all
fiber.
metal. You could take it and put it back to stock if you wanted to.
Right.
By simply taking out that piece.
Wow.
But yeah, it's been tubbed. Has a newer Oldsmobile motor in it, 350, stuff like that.
I think either Camaro or Corvette taillights on
Yeah,
it.
Corvette taillights.
But this is this was the
another
parts
Rebel
car, right?
machine.
This was the Rebel parts
No,
car,
that
or this
actually only has 25,000 miles on it original.
Wow.
And
But
that's
that
the one I
is this the one you said your wife started to? Okay, so that's why it's all apart. So you have the pieces, but this is the IKEA version
right.
of the Rebel. So if you want
When
an
she couldn't
IKEA,
get the dashboard out, she said, "That's it, I quit." Pushed to the side and went and got another car.
there you go. So and that one is available as well. If somebody
They're all
is interested.
available. But that only has 25,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Now this over here is one of my Dodge pickups that I'm going to build, but it's not just a Dodge pickup. There's two of these. Because if you look at it, look what's under here.
So it's got a tandem axle.
Right. It's a WC. I got a WC 63 and a WC 42, something like that. One of them has a winch, one doesn't. But I left this frame all together. That was the body we were walking on over there.
Oh, okay. The one that we were climbing up to
Yeah.
go into the. Okay.
And then there's another frame over here of the one that I'm going to start to do. I just left that as a model, so I have an instruction.
So you know what how to put it back.
Right. And then once I finish this one, I can do that.
Right.
But
So
that's the actual frame of it right there.
and how long you been working on this?
Only a couple months. Really.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for somebody to make me because it has a double frame all the way down.
Right.
And waiting for the guy. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll build it, and never heard from him. So I gave up on him.
Gotcha.
Now you're going to come to the cream of the crop.
April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.